Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Yufei. I work at the School of Graduate Studies at McMaster University as the International Graduate Student Advisor. So my role at this university is to support and put on programming for all international graduate students. Today's event is not about me. Today's event is about our fellow international graduate students. So the purpose of today's event, just so you have a chance to meet some of our current students who are currently studying at McMaster right now. They are actually all navigators, so international grad navigators for the fall term. So if you do see your navigator, kind of do a virtual wave. And today, the purpose of today's event is just so you can ask your questions directly to be answered by our current students. So question about life in Hamilton, questions about being a student at McMaster University. So our students are here to share their own experiences and their own advice. They're not going to be able to provide you, course selection answers or immigration answers. They're just here to share their own advice as a student. So if you do have a question, please put it in the Q&A box. And if you do see a question that you're also interested in, please do not ask it again. Please give it a thumbs up. So by pressing the thumb up button, what you do is you push the question up to the front, and I will be monitoring the Q&A, and I will be asking the questions live to our panelists. So without further ado, let's introduce our panelists. So I will ask our panelists to share their name, of course, their name with you and their academic background, so the programs they're in right now, and their cultural background with you in their introduction. So let's start with Nadia.
Hey, hi everyone. Thank you, Yufei. So can everybody hear me all right? Yeah, that's great. So my name is Nadia. I'm currently doing my PhD in medical sciences. I just transferred actually from the master's program. So I'm originally from Indonesia, but I lived in Singapore for 12 years before coming here. So I'm looking forward to know everybody.
Thank you, Nadia. And I see one of our additional panelists has joined us. So I will pin Ahila onto the screen right now. Ahila, can you hear us? We can see you, but we're not sure if I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay, we're just doing a round of introductions now. I'll get to you after all of our other panelists have gone through, just because the order on my screen. So thank you for joining us. Yanish, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Jainesh, and I am from System and Technology Automation Smart System program in MNH, and I am from India. So I am in my second term, and I will be soon going on a co-op. So you can ask me questions related to co-ops and life in Hamilton and everything. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Next, we'll go to Ahmed.
Hi everyone, my name is Ahmed El Sayad and I am from Egypt. I started my PhD last year in May. I'm doing my PhD in electrical and computer engineering. Hello everyone, welcome on board.
Thank you, Ahmed. Next, I'll go to Joseph.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Joseph Ejubuesiakun. I'm in my second year political science PhD. So about me, I lived all my life in Ghana until I moved to Hamilton about 2 years ago. So if you have any other questions that is related, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Perfect. And next, I'll go to Anila. So please introduce yourself, your program, your cultural background.
Hi everyone, I'm Ahila and I'm from Engineering, Computing and Software. I'm from India and right now I'm doing my co-op. So you can ask me about co-op or how to survive here or anything that strikes your mind.
Thank you, Ahila. So we will get started very soon. So I know you're typing in the background, but when you answer the questions in text, they will disappear for me. So it'll be great if we can get everyone's, yeah, thank you so much.
I believe they are not really connected to our session here, so I'm trying just to. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No worries, because one of the questions, I think everybody may have some things to connect to. So I think I can't find that one anymore. It's about housing. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, if you type an answer, they disappear for me. That's why it'll be great for our panelists. Just don't worry about looking at the Q&A. I'll ask all the questions live. So yeah, let's tackle that question before I can't find it again. So the question asks, how should I find housing to stay? Would you recommend Tenbei though is expensive? So for our panelists, it'll be great if you can share some of your experiences finding housing. Who wants to start? And Ahila, I know you're typing, so why don't you start?
Yeah, I can answer that.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I consider Tenbei for residing, but it's like it's in downtown, so might be you will hear emergency vehicle sirens and everything at night. It might be a bit scary to live in downtown at a first place, so consider living near McMaster or in the upper mountain area.
Thank you, Janice. So let's go to Ahila.
So I have my friends living in Tenbei. So there's a pros and cons as well. Like the cons is that it's in downtown. That's the only con I see so far. But whereas it has the gym on it and there are shops nearby, so you can access the gym. You don't have to go anywhere else to finding a gym. And the commute is around like 20 minutes, and there are a lot of buses available, so you can directly come to campus anytime you want. Except for that, like you can stay with like other department members of McMaster University. So networking is kind of easy if you stay in Tenbei. Whereas like if you stay off campus, like other than Tenbei, it's like you can find a place near to the university, but you have to live with 8 people, 5 people, or if you take an apartment, you have to take care of your electricity and water and whatnot, like everything you have to take care of yourself. But Tenbei, you don't have to worry about it. So both as its pros and cons, so you have to choose it.
Thank you, Ahila. Ahmed?
Okay, when it comes to housing, you have multiple choices. One of them is going to McMaster building or McMaster housing. If it is too expensive for you, you will have to find another place to stay. There is a multiple places around the campus. You can check some Facebook pages, also handled by McMaster. There is like rooms and houses. Uh, some houses contains 5 rooms, 7 rooms, or 8 rooms. I think I didn't see anything more than 8 rooms or 10 rooms in one house. This may cost you like from 700 to 1,000 based on the location, based on the facilities and the things that are included in the housing. If you took some of these housing, you are not going to worry about any electricity bills or water bills or even heating and cooling. They are all included. But there is another case. If you want to take like an apartment, you can take an apartment with one of your friends or 2 of your friends. Then it will be empty. You will have no furniture in that. This is another option that you have. You may get an apartment, set it up, pay everything like water, uh, electricity, and everything will be on you. So these are the options that you have. My recommendation is don't take any apartment, don't take any place that is too far from university. It will be very hard for you to get to the university during winter. It will be okay, and you can do it, but it is not my recommendation. That's all.
Thank you, Ahmed. So we'll go to Joseph next.
Yes, so I think Ahmed mentioned some places that you can look out for, and I think they are all perfectly fine. But one of the things that I want to really mention is that, so for instance, Facebook Marketplace, there are a lot of scammers in there. So if you go in there and you're looking for housing, you make sure you don't pay any money to anybody before you come in or before you complete the transaction. But the other point is that the McMaster Housing, I'm not so sure if it's the website is up. They had a very perfect app that is people who go there are mostly verified, right? So you could get housing that you are very sure about. But I'm not sure the website is up again. But recently a friend of mine used, if you go to the housing website, they've developed they have another partnership with Places for Students or something like that. That is also verifiable. So you can also check that place to see if you can get an accommodation there, because a friend of mine had recently gotten one from there, and it was a very smooth process. You log in with your McMaster email, the landlord also posts the verifiable housing in there, and so you are very sure of who you are dealing with, unlike the Facebook Marketplace where you are not so sure. Everybody can post whatever they want in there, so you have to be very careful about scammers who also post housing in there. Thank you.
Yeah, I found my housing based on that, but I guess like the site was down after that, and yeah, it is worth giving a try.
Yeah, so they have another partnership. So if you go to the same website, they will tell you, they'll redirect you to another link that you can log in with your McMaster email and all of that, and then you can try to see them.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. So Nadia, do you have any thoughts about any recommendations for our new students finding housing?
So, based on my own experience, I found housing from a friend's friend. So I was lucky to know someone here. But I guess like one thing that I want to point out is most of the houses here are unfurnished. So I'll recommend you guys to like maybe get like a bed first before coming over, or else I know some of my friends like they don't have a bed when I first came here. So that will be pretty useful.
Thank you, Nadia. Looking at the questions in the question Q&A boxes, some of the questions about enrollment. So just a reminder to everyone that for graduate programs, enrollment requirements can be very different from program to program. So the students here today, they can only represent their own experiences. They may not know about your program structure and their program's requirements this year. So I know some programs may have different enrollment requirement in fall 2024 compared to when our students started. So if you do have a question about enrollment, please ask your program directly. I don't know if any of our students here have this experience. So if you have you ever tried to enroll in professional development courses or elective courses while still being a full-time student in your own academic program? Does anyone have this experience here? No, so yeah, so again, with the enrollment questions, it could be very program specific, especially, you know, for our PhD students, sometimes you're not even enrolled in a academic course. You're enrolled in your research placeholder course. So for these questions that are very program specific or program requirement specific, please ask your program directly, because one of our students' experiences, so unlike housing, one of our students' experience might not be as helpful to you because different programs have different requirements. And for the students in the room right now, please give the questions that you're also interested in an upvote. So this will help me see it higher in my queue. So the question I have here is there a gym available at the school for fitness activities? Can students use it freely, or do you need to pay for a membership? And in a similar vein, if you don't use a gym at the university, how do you stay active? If you do stay active, that is. Does anyone want to take on this question? Aniela?
Yeah, there is a gym available at university, but it is free for undergrads, and we have to pay a membership fees for master student. Whereas but it is compared to outside, the fee at McMaster is low. And or else you can like go to Crunch Fitness, which is just few minutes walk away from the McMaster University. It is another choice, but that would be so much crowd. So, and there are a lot more trails in Hamilton. So if you want to stay active, you can just go for hiking, walk, a long walk. It is a good it has a good trails and a lot of roads to walk. So that way you can see. And at McMaster, we have like the basketball court, badminton court, table tennis court, and squash. So there's many ways to stay active inside the campus as well. So there's rock climbing in university, so it's fun.
Thank you, Hila. You brought up a really great point about nature around campus. And yeah, so what you said is just to reinforce what you said. So for undergraduate student, the fee to use the gym is included in their student fees. But for graduate students, that is not in the fees, so you do have to pay extra. But for graduate students, make sure that you access the student rate for the gym, so it is discounted from the general public rate. So does anyone else have thoughts about they want to share about just staying active as a graduate student? Or are we all too busy in your labs? Joseph?
So for me, I think what I sometimes also do is that maybe sometimes in the evenings, and if it's not winter, in the evenings I try to go for walks and for runs, right? And if I get an opportunity to go play football with my friends and all of that, I take that advantage, right? Yeah. So I mean, basically that is what I try to do. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing. So let's move on to the next question if you don't have any additional thoughts about staying active. So let's go back to living in Hamilton. What is the approximate cost per month per year, if you don't mind sharing? Like, how much money do you usually spend on food or for cooking, or food outside, or public transportation, house good expenses? How much money are we looking at just to live in Hamilton? Ahmed?
Okay, I'm going to give you a breakdown for the average that you may spend. Of course, you can spend more. That's up to you. Okay. So basically, the rent, as I said, it goes from 700 to 1,000. This is the average. You can go into very fancy rooms and with this with bathroom inside or washroom included in the room and all that. You will have to pay more than that. But for the rent, 1,000 is very good, very. This is the average that you can take something near the campus. For the food, if you are going to eat and make your own food, which will take time, you will have to balance this with your student life here. So basically, if you are going to do everything by yourself, you will have to you will spend like 500, but you will eat very good food. You can get meat, chicken, whatever you want every day for the month. So 500 is the average that you are looking for here. If you are going to eat from restaurants and outside, from outside, like grabbing some snacks or something that are ready or ready-made, you are looking for 30 CADs per day. So this will go up to 900, and it will only be your food for the day. So that's regarding the food. Also for the other expenses, you may get this or organize this to do it in over the year. You are not going to buy everything every single week, right? Or every single day. So you can find whatever you want along the weeks. Also, I really recommend looking for Marketplace. It has all a very good used items, but it's like new. So try to search for that first. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Ahmed. Joseph?
So I think Ahmed has already spoken extensively about the cost and then the food parts. So I'm not going to go there again. What I will talk about is about the transportation, right? So luckily for us as graduate students, McMaster gives us a Presto card, which we can use through Hamilton, and it's free. No, well, not free. We've already paid for it as part of our fees, right? So you take advantage of that as much as possible. Any bus that you pick around Hamilton, no matter how many times you pick inside Hamilton, the bus is free, right? So you can go for transportation. You don't really have to worry about transportation. If no matter where you stay inside Hamilton, you can always have free access to get to campus and all of that, right? So that is what I also add to that. I mean, transportation, you can enjoy that based on the fee that you picked already.
Thank you for the additional note about transportation. So Yanush, I'll go to you.
Yeah, everything got covered by both of them. I just want to add one point is that to try looking for the accommodation quite near to the bus stop, so it might be easier for you in winters and while getting the groceries with the bus transport. So it will be quite hectic in winters if bus stops are quite far from your accommodation. So you might like I have
Oh, you're muted.
oh sorry.
It's
So
okay.
in ICE might be you face some difficulty in at the start, so it might be good to locate the accommodation near to the bus stops.
That's a great recommendation. So does anyone else have any thoughts about, buying food or just kind of saving money in Hamilton in general? Joseph, back to you.
Yeah, so I mean there are some shops that I think you can get food at cheaper prices, right? So for instance, I think McMaster has some packages with some shops that you get some discount, about 10% discount on special days and all of that. So we really have to look into it. So you have to ask your colleagues, your people that you already know about some of these things, and then they can point you to them so that you can take full advantage of all of these things, and then you'll be able to enjoy life.
Perfect. And I always say enjoy life. Getting good food is definitely part of enjoying life. And then for our new students in the room, maybe if you don't know anyone yet, maybe this is the time you may consider signing up for the Navigator program where we do connect you with the current student and they may have, they may be the colleague who tells you when the student discounts are. Ahmed?
Thank you, Sister Joseph, for bringing that up. We have food basics for Tinos, 10% off on Tuesdays, 20% for shoppers on Thursday. Also, we have 10% off for Rexel Pharmacy if you need any medication or something for all over the year. We have 80% coverage for the medication. For the prescription medication using GSA health coverage or health insurance. So you have a lot of things that you will get when you are a student at McMaster. Just try to know all of that before you start your program. It's all on McMaster website. Feel free to check it. And if you need any question, just ask any of your colleague or anything.
Perfect. Thank you, Ahmed. Ahila?
Yeah, I just want to add a point on what Hamid said, like regarding the doctor consultation and everything. Like McMaster has its free service for the students out there. So if you want to consult a doctor regarding like you have an inflammation on your leg, it's free of course. You just have to book an appointment and like show up on time. So they will write you some prescription. Sometimes it's like they cover 80%. And we have the McMaster hospital as well, so we can get medicines from there, the x-rays and everything. So we can use the best out of it, like whatever you feel like, because as a newcomer, you might feel some different types of things going on with your body. So you can consult a doctor and it's totally free.
That's
So, yeah.
very important to know. Thank you.
I just want to add it.
Okay, well, let's move on to our next question. Oh, sorry, Anish. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to just add one point to what say is like For the food, you can consider like apps like Flip, where you can find the flyers of different supermarkets like Food Basics, Snowfields, and Walmart. So this and 14ers too, like they are the biggest store in the Hamilton. You can share, and there are some concept of price matching, so you can match the price and save some money on that. And Food Basics will provide 10% off on Tuesday, so you can consider that. And looking about the healthcare, so you might feel that your home country have better healthcare in like you get doctor very easily, you can approach them very easily. But in here there is a systematic process that you have to consult the doctor specifically for some problems. And for my personal suggestion, I can say that make your health as a first priority, because it might be possible that in new country your body takes time to adjust according to the temperature and weather.
Thank you for your recommendations. So now let's move on to our next question. So earlier, some of you mentioned that you may get unfurnished homes. Do you have recommendations for places where students can get cheaper furniture? Or where did you get your furniture from and how did you find it? Or Hila?
Yeah, IKEA, or mostly it will be Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace. It's a good
Yeah.
suggestion. Sorry, we didn't catch the audio.
Yeah, that helps a lot. Like Facebook Marketplace helps a lot, or else like you can go for IKEA for cheaper things, furnitures and stuff. And IKEA, they're like easy to set up and like fix it, and like so they're quick.
Great, thank you for sharing. Ahmed?
Okay, I agree with Ahila. Marketplace is a very good place to search for. There's also if you want to get some new items, you can get from IKEA. You can get it from so IKEA would be the lowest price you can get furniture from. Also, you can check Amazon, but I really recommend the Marketplace first. But the disadvantage that you get if you get something from Marketplace, that you will have to transport the items that you purchased to your house yourself, and this will be, it's not very hard, but you may get a U-Haul car or van to transfer whatever you want. So Marketplace, but you will have to find a proper transportation to get it to your house.
Perfect. Nadia.
Yeah. So I got some of my furniture from Walmart too. So they have pretty good deals and they offer free delivery if you reach a certain amount. IKEA also have like delivery. I'm not sure if it has a fee or not. And I guess one thing I want to point out is if you get furniture from Facebook Marketplace, you have to check if they're still in good condition, because we have a problem with bed bugs here. So yeah, just make sure that like they're not too worn out before you actually get them.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, general idea, don't pay anything until you see the product. Here, don't pay anything like for housing, for items on Marketplace. Just see the item, check it, it's your right here. So check it, and after that you can pay.
Mhm.
That's a great tip. Joseph?
So for me, what easily works for me, I understand all the shops that they've mentioned, IKEA, Marketplace, and all of that. But what easily works for me is Amazon, right? So what I try to do is that because of the delivery and all of those things, I try to avoid the Marketplace where I need to extra transportation and all of that. So I get from Amazon, it comes in the box and everything. I just carry it up and then I can try to fix it myself, right? And again, we were talking about the discounts and all of that that you get as a student, right? Amazon, as you come in as a new student, Amazon gives you Amazon Prime 6 months free as a McMaster student, right? And so you can use that to settle, get all the things that you need. You order these things and then they are delivered the next day to you, right? So you take advantage of that for that 6 months, try to get all the things that you need, and then you are able to settle in easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like except from furnitures and desk, if you want like something like from hangers or some cutleries or something, you can go to Dollarama or Walmart because they have like huge like 2 to 3 products for cheaper price. So it'd be better. Dollarama is better like for hangers or some plastic things, cutting board or something like that.
Okay, thank you. So the next question about co-op. So the student asking this question is definitely looking into co-op, and they're asking about, do we guarantee co-op opportunities with no interviewing process? Does international student who's going to start their master's degree eligible for co-op? So to answer that part of the questions, it really depends on your program. If you're in a co-op program, of course, co-op is a component of your program, but if co-op is not a component program, then you can ask your grad administrator about, the possibilities or potentials. But Janusz, I know you mentioned earlier about having a co-op experience. Do you want to just share a little bit about how you found your co-op?
Yeah, definitely. So I get my co-op at John Deere as a business intelligence developer. So it was pretty easy for me. Like in the first interview, I went to my co-op interview and I got shortlisted. But it might be for my roommate, it was difficult to find it, like giving 10 interviews and still not getting it. And so it varies from person to person, but there is a co-op services where which they guide, and you have to attend one of the course, Engineer 701, where you have to, it is a compulsory course before starting your co-op. So you can find all the tips and tricks from there. And for my program specifically, system and technology, their co-op is optional. So it's like it's our responsibility to go through the co-op interviews and finding it. But they definitely help to get co-op postings and other job postings and all.
Okay, thank you, Janusz. And Ahila.
I got a co-op in Sanofi. I got this co-op based on like there is a McMaster portal on Oscar Plus. So once you're eligible for co-op and once you complete the 702, the course, the co-op, the mandatory course, you'll be able to see the postings. So there will be like huge number of postings. One, before the deadline, you have to like try to be as fast as quick in applying so that it it doesn't guarantee you the job, but it maybe makes you eligible like to shortlist or something. The first motive is to get shortlisted, and the second one for that, we have like many counselors that help us in building our resumes based on the current like job market and everything. They try to tailor our resumes, and we have to like set up like 3 meetings at least to finalize the resume and start applying for it. So as soon as you like finish your 702 course, book an appointment with them because they are too busy. So many people will be applying with them, booking an appointment and everything. So book an appointment, just check it, change it, and go again. Ask them like do it. Like you have to like make yourself really quick and then start applying, like apply to as many as you could. Just make your options wider so that like you get a co-op. Basically, like in September, it will be easy. Like if you are about to start a co-op in September, it is easy to find more co-ops because there's more job openings in September compared to like Jan or May. So plan your studies accordingly and like start to like apply. And the question, the interview was about like all about your resumes, and certain only few interviews had coding if you are in computer science or something, coding rounds, and or else like most of them were like I have got 7 interviews, so most of them were like based on my resume and my project, what I did, and whatever you mentioned in resumes, they are going to read it and they're going to ask you an interview. So be clear what you're going to mention and learn about what you mentioned there, and it's like speak confident, and it's more than enough to clear the interview.
Thank you both. These are very valuable advice, especially for students who's nervous about finding their co-op, especially if this is not their first time if this is their first time in Canada. So thank you both for sharing your experience. So the next question I ask is, which cell phone service provider is the best or recommended in Hamilton? If possible, you can share, what kind of cellular, oh my gosh, service you have, and what you think about it, and how would you recommend for a student looking for a new cell phone provider? So Ahmed?
So basically, first thing that I did here when I came to Canada, I just went and bought a line for my phone. The problem is that I missed a lot of things doing that. The first thing that I didn't get a student discount because I didn't say I am a student. So the first thing you have to say for any company here that you are a student, so you can get a student discount. Otherwise, you will not get it. They know that you are a student, but they are not going to tell you. Second thing that you should check websites for the big companies first. You may get some offers like getting a phone and a SIM card with the phone for 2 years, and you will have to pay the same amount if you only get a SIM card from them. So you will have to check the websites. So companies here are 3 tiers. The first tier is Rogers and Bell. They are the most expensive ones, but they also have some good deals if you are going to use internet and you are not going to buy another internet package at your home, or if you don't have any internet package included in your rent. So Rogers and Bell will be your first choice if you need larger internet packages. Uh, and in that case, if you went to that choice, you may get also a phone with your line, and it will be almost the same amount of money, around like 60 to 80 Canadian dollars will get you an iPhone with a SIM card for and you will have to stay with them for 2 years. After that, the second range or the second tier for communication, it's 4G. You have Fido, you have Virgin and Virgin Plus. Uh, they have some good deals, around 40 cats per month. But they are not great in their service, so you may lose communication in certain places here in Hamilton. So third choice will be a very basic uh, very basic plans like Kudu, Lucky, and there's another one, but I can't remember. So they start from 25 to 35 or to 40. Okay, so that's all what I found here. You may check the website first for everything or for every brand that I have said, and you will get a very good deals. There's also a website that compares all of that. You can check Google for it. I can't remember it now, or maybe someone else can say it. Okay.
Thank you. That's a very great, comprehensive overview of everything available on it. Yanush?
Yeah, so everything was covered. So just I want to add 1 or 2 points. It's like first of all, you can ask someone here with what's their personal choice. Like I personally use Virgin Plus, so I don't have any issue with that. At some point, there is some internet coverage issue or something, but not much of worry. But you can also take like for if you want to save money, you can like look at the offers. Some providers might have the gift card to offer, and you can take referral from your friend, and you can manage to save like $5 to $10 for 10 or 10 months to 1 year. So that might be a good thing. And most of the like McMaster and your home have internet. So it's like for me, I personally have 30 GB plan for a month, and it's enough for me. So try to get according to your usage. and requirement.
Thank you. Ahila?
Initially, I was using Fido because in India, when we are coming, they gave the Fido SIM like in the visa office, so we were using it. It was a good deal because it was a student plan. It was a good deal, and Fido coverage was good. And afterwards, during the Black Friday offer, I thought of getting a phone, and the Samsung S23 was on deal. So it was just $5 for the phone for 2 years, so $5 per month. So it was a good deal. So, and it was Bell. So I thought like Bell is Taiwan. So I thought like it is good to opt that. But after shifting that, I understood that in Hamilton, Bell is okay. You don't get coverage as much as Fido does. And the speed of internet is both the same. And mostly you won't need personal data because at house you'll be having Wi-Fi no matter where you go. You will have Wi-Fi for sure. And at campus you have Wi-Fi. So the usage of internet is very low. So that doesn't matter. So I suggest not to go for Bell, go for Rogers. Fido is better and it has good deals. They always come up with better deal. So initially go with Fido and then like on Black Friday, if you want to purchase a phone, then change it accordingly. So that's all I would suggest.
Perfect. Thank you for your suggestions. So let's move on to the next question. So the question asks, is there any kind of social media or like WhatsApp, Telegram groups available to all graduate students? Are there any specific group for health sciences? And if there are, could you please share it? So from a McMaster University's perspective, we don't have any official social media groups from the university's perspective. I'm not sure about health sciences. Nadia, do you happen to know since you're part of it?
No,
No?
I
Okay.
don't think there is.
Yeah, I would suspect the same because the university is not managing any kind of private help social media groups just because they're usually student run, and what's said in those groups are usually between students. You don't need to share the information with the university. But for our panelists, if you are aware of any groups that you would like to invite students in, you're more than welcome to share them in the chat. So so if you do want to invite a student into, a student-made group, you're more than welcome to share in the chat. And the next question, and maybe for me as well, is asking about UHIP. So I will share this event that's coming up on July 30th in this chat. Is about healthcare, health insurance and accessing healthcare in Ontario. And in this 1-hour webinar, you'll meet our UHIP administrator. So if you came to the Preparing for Grad School webinar, you already met our UHIP administrator, Anna Pereira. She'll be there again. She'll be talking to you a lot more about accessing healthcare. And also the second question about adding your family members. So if you're coming in with your spouse and or children, make sure to add them in within the first month that they're here. Ahmed, do you have any thoughts about this?
Yeah, I just have a quick note about this. You have three kind of coverage. You have GSA and QB if you are a TA. If you are a TA, you will get QB. Otherwise, you will only have UHIP and GSA. UHIP covers all medical requirements like doctor visits, any items that you need, like if you have sugar, blood sugar, if you have anything like that, this will be covered under UHIP. So UHIP cover visits and hospitals mainly and everything related to them, but it does not cover anything related to the medication or the ambulance or or whatever outside the healthcare that is related to either the clinics or hospitals. So if you have medication, you have to get GSA coverage to get medication discount, like I said before, 80%, up to 80%, and with Rexel you can get up to 90%. GSA also have dental plan, but that's not very good at all. So let's say it like that. So dental coverage here or dental operation needs a lot of money and is very expensive. GSA is not covering any of these, like 20% or something of the total cost. So it is too much for us as a students. So GSA is very good in health coverage for medication and for ambulance and for anything that is not covered with UHIP. Last thing is QB. QB is very good for dental plan. You have $1,000 to spend on your dental on your dental requirements if you have any, and it also have some other benefits. But these are the main points that I wanted to speak about. Anything else? There is some webinars about healthcare that is about to happen in the start of the new semester. You should attend these. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. Joseph?
Since you're talking about healthcare, I just wanted to add that, I mean, most of the things that Ahmed already mentioned, or they are already deducted from source, right? So it's all part of your fees. And if you are a QP member, it will already be deducted. So you get to know which of the health plans that you are on. So for me, I wouldn't really worry about which has this and all of that, right? I would just see which one that I am on, because it's automatic and it's compulsory, right? I'll just see which one that I'm on, and then I'll look into what are the packages that they all have before I try to access the hospital. So that's what I wanted to add.
Hey, Joseph. Ahila?
I would recommend you to like watch and go through the webinars regarding UHIP. There will be several in the first month. So if you miss one, you can always attend the second one. It is actually helpful, and you will get to know about the full details and everything in detail. And you can choose like if you want this or want not, or you can decide, and you can ask them questions because they're directly related to that. So it will be easy for them.
Perfect. Thank you for the recommendations. And if you do go to one of these webinars, you'll see that there's a lot of information to be shared. And you have administrators and our folks from the Student Wellness Center. They're very helpful, and they're here to answer all the questions in more detail. And I know that you already touched on this question. I don't know if you've been looking ahead, because one of the questions to ask, except for UHIP, which insurance do I need to take? And you mentioned that there is the GSA plan and also the QP plan if the student is going to be a TA. So thank you for jumping ahead and taking care of that question as well.
You're right.
And so from the questions that are currently up with the highest upvotes, I think I will address some of those questions. And I know that we have many perhaps engineering masters or engineering PhD students in the room, and their enrollment requirements a little different from everyone else. So if your program is asking for additional documents, so for example, study permit approvals, in order for you to enroll. So please make sure to follow these requirements because they are program-specific requirements. So if your program is asking for these documentations for you to enroll, you will need to submit them before you can enroll in courses like SGS 101 or SGS 102. And this is just specifically for the students whose programs are making this requirement. So that would be a lot of our engineering students. So if you cannot enroll right now and you are not sure why, so if this is not part of your enrollment and you cannot enroll, please check with your program directly, because different programs may have different requirements. And another common question I see that's relevant to it is if you cannot enroll by August 1st, so that's our on-time enrollment period, because of your program's requirement, can you enroll later? So the answer is yes. And if you are charged late fees because of this requirement, you can ask your program to waive this fee, because getting your study permit on time is beyond your control. So make sure to so don't worry, you can still enroll after you get your study permit. But it's just that different programs have different requirements. And the next question is about the Ron Joy Center from Burlington to McMaster. So if you have classes at the Ron Joy Center, or if you're An MBA student, for example, there are shuttles that are available free of cost. So I believe your program will let you know how to get the sticker to get on the shuttle. So so you'll be able to kind of get on the shuttle anywhere. So at main campus or at the Burlington campus without being charged. So from the McMaster Hamilton campus, I believe the shuttle stops right in front of the McMaster Musk. What does it stand for? McMaster University Student Center, and another location near near the hospital. So I will share the link to the information about the shuttles in the. Oh, I already did. Okay, so about in the chat, and from the chat you can see exactly where the shuttle stop and how the shuttle works. And yeah, so the next question is also about study permit processing time. Can you ask for delay enrollment? Again, this is very program specific, so it depends on the requirement of your program, depending on how flexible your program, or if you're a PhD student, your project may be. So if you're a PhD student, make sure to check with your supervisor, and if you're a master's student, please check with your graduate administrator. So let's get this out. So all the questions about program enrollment and program specific questions are out of the way. So we have about 6 minutes left in today's event. So let's get on some of the questions that are for our student panelists. The question asks, how can I get scholarship and funding? So for the student panelists in here, have you applied for additional scholarships and funding after you got to Canada? And if so, could you share your experience? And the answer could be Nadia. Perfect.
Okay, so there's limited options, honestly, for international students who are applying scholarship in Canada, but there are a few. So I'm lucky to have supervisors who give me recommendations of what kind of scholarships to apply. And I guess like that is also a conversation that you should have, like if you're like a student in the lab. Yeah, but like I would say like talk to your supervisor and look up for McMaster websites too. Like they also have a list of scholarships available.
Perfect. Thank you, Nadia. Ahila?
As Nadia said, like it is always recommended to talk to your supervisor because supervisor helps you in getting scholarship or any funding. I was a research assistant with my supervisor in one of his projects, so I got a funding which was like more partially covered my fees, my semester fees. So it really helped. So it is always have to have the honest conversation. What are the like whatever you feel like whatever you want, it's better to ask your supervisor. They will always help you in the ways they could, and they will get to know you better so that they could offer you if there is some other opportunities there available. They are always like they know many people and there are various options, so they always recommend you the best choice. So before you take any course, if you have a supervisor, it's best to consult with them, ask them about like what they think and everything, because you have to do your project or thesis based on that. So they will recommend you the best.
Thank you for the recommendations from you both. Again, I feel like your supervisor's role is very important, and so you're recommend to consult with them, and of course keep an eye out on the updates that your program and the School of Graduate Studies sent you. So let's wrap up the event with maybe a final question or final tip. One of the questions from our students asked if there's any good supermarkets that you recommend in Hamilton. So let's rephrase the question a bit. What's your favorite place to get food? Whether it's a supermarket or restaurant or just your backyard, let us know. And just if you have any additional tips that you want to share, but it doesn't really fit any of the questions, just to wrap up the event. We will go with Yanush. We haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, so my go-to place is like No Frills because I find most of my stuff there because I am from India, so I find every stuff there. And you can consider Walmart too because Walmart considers like all the nationalities food and have everything there, and you can take it from there too. But the thing is, No Frills have the feature of price matching, so you can price match your stuff which are available cheaper options available on different store and you can get on the same option on the novels. Yeah.
Thank you. Who wants to go next? Let me pick on Joseph.
Yeah, so I think what I also try to get normally I get my things from Fortinos. That is where well for me it's because it's closer to my house where I stay, right? So instead of looking for all the other shops, I probably go to Fortinos to get whatever I need from there. So I think yeah, that is where I get most of my things.
Perfect. And this is the answer, you're not really expecting, but it really do make sense. I have students asking what's the best this, what's the best that, and we have students answering, and there's like, why is that? And I'm like, yeah, because it's closer to where I live. That's a really good point. Amit?
Sorry, I just wanted to speak about another thing that I had a lot of questions about here, the transportation. So
Mhm.
basically, to get from airport to Hamilton, you can get a Go Bus. It's much cheaper than any other alternatives. So check for Go Bus and get Go Bus from airport to Hamilton or from Hamilton to the airport. Basically, anything in Hamilton, you can get to using your Presto card and your bus pass. You will get this on August 20. It will open up in your Mosaic. You will get a code. You have to put that code onto the Presto card, and then your pass will be activated. Uh, if you wanted to go from Hamilton to Burlington, you can go freely and without paying anything, but you will have to pay on your way back. Or if you came back in 2 hours, you will not pay anything. Otherwise, you will have to pay for your trip back. These are like a quick tip about transportation and about your movement. But there's only one bus going from Hamilton or one route from Hamilton to Burlington, and it is in downtown. You may check Google Maps for that. Uh, that's all I have. I hope that I answered some of the questions that we didn't go through yet.
Thank you, Ahmed. So just a little caveat to the transportation piece, just in case we do have MBA students in the room. So MBA students campus, it is in Burlington, and the MBA students has collectively opt out of the bus pass because it only covers the Hamilton area. So MBA students would not have access to a bus pass, but they do have access to the free shuttle that goes between the Burlington campus and the main campus. So that shuttle is McMaster run, and they're eligible for that shuttle, but they will not be able to get a Hamilton bus pass just because their campus is in Burlington.
Yufa, can you answer the one question only? Like, what's the option to one can take to come from airport to Hamilton? So there is a bus service, but I am not aware about that much as of now. So can you please answer that?
Yeah, McMaster Transit Service. Okay, so this year the Student Success Center, so the IESC team has made a connection with Airways Transit to offer airport transportation for new international students. And I believe Anna shared from our last webinar that this service is available from August 3rd to September 3rd. There is no time limit within these dates because this service is provided by a third-party service provider. And more information about how to book this service will be shared with you as soon as we have this information. So the date we have given you just because you can plan your travels. So if you're arriving between August 3rd and September 3rd, the service is available. You don't have to worry about what time. They're a professional. The service provider is a professional airport pickup service. They're available at 24 hours. And the information to book it will be available as soon as it is available to us. So thank you for bringing attention to that question, Janusz. Okay, who haven't we heard yet? Ahila? So just a final tip to wrap up.
Okay, like I find Fortinos as a bit expensive, but there are always deals going on with different shops. So sometimes I find strawberries cheaper in Fortinos and strawberries costlier in Food Basic. Food Basic is actually known for like its cheap price for the products, and it is good as well. So I purchase my groceries in Food Basic, but sometimes since I work part-time as a cashier in Fortinos, I sometimes like look for the deals in Flip app and notice it, and I'll be like going to buy certain items in Fortinos. So I recommend Food Basic, Walmart, No Frills if you have seen plus points, like if you go to that bank. So that is good. And Nations if you want like any kind of like for Chinese ingredients, Indian ingredients, or anything, like you can find it in Nations, which is in downtown in Jackson Square. So this is the one. And whereas like for food, the Osmos, it is nice, and the Chinese and Timneys in the downtown, it is nice. And for like Indian food, there is like a hotel in near to the Westdale, like Annalakshmi. That one is nice for Indian foods. So there is various restaurants and various food to eat. So you don't worry about food or anything coming here.
Thank you, Ahila. And I do recognize our panelists is staying with us longer than they said they would. So thank you so much. So to tie us all up, to wrap up the event, not to put pressure on you, Nadia, any final tips for our students?
Well, I like to get my groceries. I mean, if you're talking about it, still the food topic, I like to get my groceries from Nations. Also because I live at downtown, it's pretty close to me. And Nations has a good variety of all the Asian items, to be honest. I'm pretty amazed when I first came here. So as what Ahila said, yeah, don't worry about food. There's a lot of food variety in Hamilton, a lot of different restaurants too that you could find. There's a lot of food available at downtown. So if you miss any food from home, pretty sure you're able to get something similar at here.
Thank you so much, Nadia. And thank you, everyone, all of our panelists for sharing your tips, sharing your experiences. I'm sure the students in the room, I really, really do appreciate it, hearing directly from you. And for the students in the room, we're having a Q&A panelist event again in August. So if you didn't catch the full event or if you have lingering questions, please come and join us in August as well. This webinar is recorded and will be posted in our orientation webinar library within the next week or so, because we do have to edit the video and get it professionally captioned. So it will take some time. It won't be ready immediately. And again, thank you so much for being with us, all our panelists and all our students. And I hope you will all have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good day. Bye.